How Not to Kill Yourself. A Portrait of a Suicidal Mind. Written by Clancy Martin in March of 2023 and published by Pantheon. With a snippet read by Richard Coombs. Available for checkout right now at the Alice L. Pendleton Library. The last time I tried to kill myself was in my basement with a dog leash. As usual, I didn't write a note. I carried down a green leather and wood chair from my office while my dog watched from the stairs. She's afraid of the basement. I took the heavy blue canvas leash, looped it over a beam, made a noose by snaking the leash through the handle, latched it, and checked it for strength. I stood on the chair and put the noose around my neck. Then I kicked the chair away like the gentle old institutionalized suicide Brooks Hatland does toward the end of Shawshank Redemption. I hung there, kicking, but I wasn't dying, I was just in terrible pain. Hanging yourself really hurts. I had forgotten that, though I'd tried it before, because I'd recently spent some time reading about people hanging themselves, and it sounded so easy. Other people managed to do it from a doorknob sitting down. I started to panic. I resisted the panic. I panicked some more, and in a moment that I can't exactly recall, I lifted myself up and got out of the leash. I dropped to the floor and lay there on the dusty concrete for a while. I still haven't moved the chair back upstairs. It's too spooky, and I don't want it in our house. Later that day, I spoke to my wife on the phone. She was away on a trip, and she asked me what was wrong with my voice. I have a sore throat. Make yourself some ginger and honey tea, she said. It sounds like you're coming down with something. Uh-huh, I said. My throat hurt for another week, and several of my students asked me what I had done to my neck. The bruising was flagrant. I told them, "Oh, it looks worse than it is," and avoided the question. I probably could have told them the truth, but it's one thing to write about suicide and your suicide attempts and have those readily available to your students on the internet. Students do Google their professors. And quite another to look a student in the eye with the black and blue evidence on display and say, "Oh, I tried to hang myself a couple of days ago." Even if there were no professional consequences, and I suspect there may have been, I'd worry about laying the kind of weight on the minds of young people, and also about the possibility that it might encourage one of them who might already be suffering from depression or having suicidal thoughts to make a bad choice. I've lived nearly all my life with two incompatible ideas in my head. I wish I were dead, and I'm glad my suicides failed. I've never once thought, if only I'd successfully killed myself, I would have been spared all this living I've done. And yet, when I'm feeling like my life has been a complete waste, my first thought is, okay then, go kill yourself now. Or rather, I tend to think along very concrete lines, such as, I'd better just hang myself because I don't have any poison, and if I order some, I'll have lost my nerve by the time it gets here, and it's important to do this right now while my thinking is clear. Which shows you how confused I actually am. In that moment, when I am so convinced that killing myself is the right thing to do, I am as certain that I am finally admitting the truth to myself as one feels one knows, irrefutably when very angry. Now, at least, I can finally say what I actually always wanted and needed to say. Later, when calm, it's clear this angry certainty did not necessarily reflect the truth at all. Of course, I'm not always struggling with suicidal thoughts. As I write this sentence in the winter of 2022, for example, I don't want to take my own life, and I'm grateful that I'm here. But in a way, gratitude misses the point. You can be grateful for something and still not be up to the task. And if and when the thought should return, yes, do it, kill yourself, or simply, come on now, it's time, you're too tired, end it all, get it over with, I'll still be glad that I was previously unsuccessful, because all those failed attempts predate good things that have happened since then, including, most important, the births of my children. I realize how bizarre it sounds to be simultaneously thinking that I have to finally kill myself, while also knowing I was lucky that my previous attempts had failed. If my prior lack of success allowed me to go on living and create and experience good things as a result, shouldn't that logic hold true moving forward? Can't I learn that giving in to this impulse is a mistake? Maybe I am learning, slowly. But in the moment, I'm gripped by the desire to die. I don't believe more good things are coming down the road. More to the point, regardless of what the future may offer, I'm convinced my still being here will only make matters worse.